and bits and bobs that I've got adding to my Etsy store, and there's some really nice exciting bits and pieces. Now bear with me while I am getting things prepared, and I can show and tell a few of these new toys. So now I've got no one visiting me yet. That's fine because this will go on replay. It will be there. So let me just jump on here, and it tells me that I'm live on my own channel. So what's new in the world of Tea with Karen? I have lots of new goodies actually. So, and if you're there viewing me, say hello, and I'm going through show and tell of some of the new toys and things that I have. So please comment hello if I can see you there. So what's new toys? I've got lots. Firstly, this is one of my new toys. Hi John, lovely to see you, darling. So I'm just showing bits and pieces, and then I'll show you how they're used. This is a long-awaited book that I've had on the back burner now for many, many, many years, and it's finally come out of my head and into print. What it is, this is just my home printed copy. Hello, Lainey. How are you, gorgeous? This is just my home printed copy, but the actual one's gone to print and it should be shipping out in about 10 to 14 days. What it is, it's a book that I call Divination Divided. And yes, the title, I'll explain what it means. Divination Divided, it's a concept that like I said, I've had in my brain for about 20 odd years now. And the reason I've called it Divination Divided is because it's a very unique way of reading. Black screen, Kez, John and Lainey, can you tell me, do we have a black screen or don't we? John's through YouTube, Lainey's through Facebook, Kez is through Facebook. So can somebody tell me, because the black screen might just be on your end, Kez. So let me know, guys. Screen's fine for you. John, Lainey, is the screen fine for you? Okay, let me know. So Kez, I think you've got a problem, darling. You may need to log out and come back in. Bhavana, lovely to see you, darling. Let me just write a note for Kez, because Kez, it sounds like you've got a problem. Hang on. Let me write down here. I'm just going to write here, Kez, it's just you. Log out. All right, Kez, got it now. Okay, so I was going to say that's why I wanted to check with everybody else to make sure everybody else was okay and not in a foggy screen. So let's start with what new toys. So I'll get back to this. Divination Divided is a book that can be used with either cards, charms, coins, stones or bones, I've called it, which is things like runes, if you want tarot cards and so on. All of these can be used, and I'll show you how. It's been called Divination Divided for a reason. Is we open up, like I said, this is only my home print copy, so the actual copy is in a beautiful thicker luster finish, and I actually didn't go high gloss finish, I went matte finish with it's got a luster. And the main reason is because a lot of people who do take photographs and so on, or they're live readers. So there's a bit about the book and how it's done, and this is why it's called Divination Divided, because it is split pages. And yes, the brain has been in overdrive, but the beauty of it being split is you can flick a page and you can flick a page and you can combine 900 combinations. Yep, that's right. You've got 30 by 30, and you have 900 combinations. It is wire bound, so it can actually fold back on itself. We have the numbers for the top and we have the numbers for the bottom. So you might like a favourite and it might be like 11 and 23 and so on. But I've made it so you might want to read the top half, you might want to read the bottom half, you might want to read the two together, and like I said, mix and match. This side of the book, it's really, really handy. And again, I've made it so you too can personalise it if you wish. So these here are all blank boxes. And the reason I've left those blank boxes, and you can see that's what that is, and that's a reverse. The reason I've left them blank is if you want to go in and fill out the blanks for your own personal questions by adding filling in all these blanks plus all of mine, you're actually getting one book that creates 1,800 spreads. So that's my new Divination Divided. So the book will be listed very soon. I'll probably end up taking photos and pre-list it for orders because it will be ready to ship out in about 10 to 14 days. And like I said, you can go along and pick and choose. So this here, and I've left this as a good one, where you're going, should I? And I've left it ... because you could have here, should I have the discussion? Should I leave? Should I, whatever you choose to wish. And I've made them so everything is fully interactive. So, because I love stuff that moves and things that combine and layer and so on. And that's what we do. So, that is Divination Divided. The book size is, I think it's about in inches, it's about 7 inches or maybe a little bit less. Hang on, I'll tell you exactly. Right, book is, in the comb binding, you're looking at about 6.5 inches. Yeah, by about 6 inches. So it's not massive, but I've also made it this size so you can throw it in a bag or a suitcase or whatnot. With the actual boxes, these sizes here, it's really up to you. If you're a charm person, you might want to put them directly on the boxes in the actual book. You can also, if you like mini cards, you can actually use mini cards. Like this is just my mini Alice, for instance. And mini Alice, I can also lay her directly over it if you wish. Or the other option is, which I found just as easy, and for people who read other types of cards, whether it's tarot, Lenormand, Kipper, playing cards, whatever, you then can just put your book there and your layouts here. So it's really, really made for versatility, and that's the whole thing. I made it and kept it in more of these vintagey style colours because I thought they aren't too creepy witchy like, but they're not too poppy or pink or some other colour that most people like. I thought I'll keep them in the muted vintage type colours. Someone asked me the other day, is there a reason for these actual symbols? Look, not particularly, I just like them. So we've got the raven and the jewel, and he's got a crown, the 3 moons, the light, the violin and the books and the scales, and then the keys. The keys is probably what is more relevant to anything because keys are very much about opening new doorways or pathways to you. So that's Divination Divided. That's my mugshot and a bit about me. So other tools, ta-da, a lot of people are waiting for these. These here are my new 22 Major Arcana Tarot teacups. And these, and I always said, like, I can't read a tarot card to save myself, but this is something that I've been asked about for quite a few years now about it. And so these have all the 22 major Arcana tarot symbols in them. And I don't know if you can see it. They actually do have the little words near them. So very much the same as any fortune teller style teacup. You drink the tea, you swirl it, and what blobs of tea land on what symbol, you then go through your book and you translate it. No, Chloe hasn't got it yet, so I know she's going to want this one because she loves yellow. And these are, and there's again a reason why I've done these in the horses teacups, because horses is about power and freedom and the strength and so on. Someone actually who's a tarot reader said to me they love the horses because they see it and think of the chariot. These actual teacups, a lot of people don't realise, these are actually unbranded replicas of Hermès, the French designer. And if you go and buy a Hermès teacup, doesn't have these in it, but a Hermès teacup is around 620 Australian dollars just to buy the teacup. So these come in this one with the yellow. They also come in this one. I love the bit. Helps when it's not upside down. I love the horses. They are, like I said, about strength and freedom. This is the other one. They only come in the 4 series. The set of them is lovely. And then there's one more of the horse. And that's this one. Aren't they just beautiful? I just love them. Yeah, and they got gold. Everything has to have gold. So that's the tarot teacups. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. So now what else have I got? Some lovely goodies. Oh, come later. Yeah. So this other goodies, I'm just trying to think if I can actually magnify this. So let me try. It's probably not going to bring it up enough. But anyway, this here is what, let me just get this right. This here is what you call a sigil creator. Now, sigils are like a talisman, a lucky charm, some people might look at them, and it's creating little wishes, or some people will even call it white spell casting, and it's about manifestations. So this, I've made it as a permanent, it's actually ceramic. You do get a pen with it because I'll show you why. The sigils, and I've actually put the instructions here. What it is, it's like you write down an affirmation, you remove all the vowels, and those that don't know vowels, it's A, E, I, O, U, remember in primary school. And this here is what they call the witch's alphabet. I'm coming to that one, Cynthia. I'll show people how that's done. So a sigil is when you are wanting to write out manifestations. Let me just get a box and I'll see if I can raise this up. So because my restream doesn't allow me to magnify it very well. So, okay, I actually can do this. See if that comes up. Now I can move that out. No, there. That's what I want you to see. Right. I'll get there, hopefully. Okay. So, sorry, it looks like it's bent. It's only the magnification. So what we do is we write out a manifestation of something that you wish to do, or it's to remind yourself. So let's just put down, you're going to laugh at this. I wish for more hours in a day. It's something silly, but there you go. It's just to show you what we do. So you can put in there things like universe, please bless my family with health and happiness. You can put in there is reminders, I am confident and I can hold my own. And it really is about wishes for manifestation. The important thing with sigils too, though, is never create sigils in a negative tone. Like, don't go and put, I wish my lover's ex-wife would leave, or I wish my lover's wife would leave him for me. You know, you don't write things where you wish bad intent onto anyone, because it comes back to bite you, usually tenfold. And I've seen that happen over the years. So if I'm writing that, first thing I have to do is take out all the vowels. So I is a vowel, O is a vowel, E is a vowel, O, U is a vowel, I, A, and another. So now I'm starting to write down each of the letters. So we just work it in the sentence order. So I've got W, I've got S, I've got a H, I've got an F, I've got an M, there is an R. Now, see how we've got a second H because we've already got that one. So we cross out duplicate letters. So we've also got an S and an R. So again, we're removing the duplicate letters. There we've got an N, then we've got a D, and then we've got a Y. So, and that's all right. It's not meant to make up a word. That's okay, Amanda. Lovely to see you, darling. Go out for your walk. I hope you got a beautiful day up there. It's been lovely down here today, not too stinking hot for a change. So it doesn't have to look like a word. We are only after these key letters. Now, this is the witch's alphabet. And if you really look at it, it starts A and it goes around to M, then it comes around the N, and then it goes around here. And it's like it's doing a spiral. The important thing with the witch's alphabet is two things. It's the circle, because the circle is important. But see these 5 in the center, they represent the star or the pentacle. So, and it's commonly known as the witch's alphabet. So these letters, we're now connecting these letters over this to create our sigil or our talisman, our lucky charm. So we start here with W, S, and H. So we go round and you find it. So we're going W, S. Then our next letter is H and H and F. So we go down H, then we go F. Then we've got M and R. So we're going right up here. Then we're coming back down here. Then I have N and D and Y. So we're then going N, D, and our Y is tucked under there. So that there is our unique sigil or our unique talisman. So a good way to do it, and that's why I've left this blank here, is you can either get a thin piece of paper and put it over it to trace it if you want to trace it. I don't tend to trace it. I tend to just wing it. And so I know where I've started. So I tend to practice on this side a little bit of our drawings. And there. So I've gone across, down, whoops, I went up on that one. That one's gone there, so I start that again. This is the beauty of having the whiteboard. So we go N, D, then we've got Y. Where am I? I'm going up this way, down and through. So again, you can see where I've really fluffed that one. So let's try it again. So we're going W, S, then we're going H, F, F to M, then where am I? R, where's my R? Oh, and then we've got to R here, and then I forgot to join my N's. So N, D, Y. So I draw this a few times, and once I've got this symbol, the important thing is to complete your circle around it. Your circle is like locking it in of what you want. And so it is just a way to, like I said, put those manifestations out there. Some people with sigils will burn them over a candle. Some people will put it in the back of their phone. Some people will bury it under the garden, in the garden. Some people even tear it up into little shreds and flush it down the bathroom toilet. So it's really up to you. What I tend to do is when I've got little talismans or little sigils, I actually write them really tiny onto bay leaves, because I burn bay leaves for cleansing, and I burn bay leaves as part of my rituals. And the beauty is with this, you just take a tissue and you wipe it all off. And you'd probably use a wet tissue or a bit of baby wipe, alcohol, whatever, kitchen sponge, away you go. For people who are professional readers, this is really, really good for when you finish up with your clients and you have important words to pass to your client. I usually do write up my parting words and parting gifts to the client, and I draw up their sigils, and I then write it on sticky note for them to take with them. So it's also really handy for the parting words you want to share with your client. So this little baby, and I'll try and get it here without it. So this is another one. These, by the way, they do have foam on the back of them. This here is permanent. Won't matter how much you try and scratch the living daylights out of that, ain't going to come off. It's like my teacup. None of this comes off, and you can scratch like crazy. They are permanent. It's and it's actually something very important I'd like to actually say too. With there is a lot of people that sell goods and stuff on Etsy, and if you see them where they look a little bit amateurish and they're not done professional, or they say in their listings anything about decorative use only, you can guarantee it's been just done with a Sharpie and someone's put it in their kitchen oven. So I myself and another couple of very high-end professional ladies in the US who I love dearly, we have all invested into thousands upon thousands of dollars to get this, so they are permanent. Hence why I'm now producing a lot more other products, because yes, I have invested a small fortune. Now, this, I know a lot of people have been waiting for. This here is basic numerology tile, I call it. All my tiles come with a pen. Like I said, any normal whiteboard marker or a kid's felt tip pen, texture pen you get in the supermarket, all does the same job. So this, when I'll list this over the weekend, but these here, both the tiles, when you do purchase these, you will be enrolled automatically into a video demo on how to use this and how to do the calculations and so on. So, but what I'm going to actually ask is, now who have I got here? John, are you still there, John? If you can let me know if you're still there. And if you are still here, John, can I please have your birth date? So I'll just wait a sec, because I know there is about a 10-second delay. Great, John, can you give me your birth date? Because I'm going to show you how this works. So, all right, so the 14th of April, 1991. You guys write your birth dates down totally different to we do. So I'm just going to write it how we do. So you put your month first and day next. It doesn't really matter. It's just how we write them up. Now, I'm going to be very critiqued here, because Lainey, who's watching us here, called Elaine Ann, she is the numerology specialist here, and one of my dear soul sisters who has taught me everything. So, first thing we're going to do, John, is we add up all the single digits of your birth date. So we've got 10 and 10 is 20 there, 35 and 4 is 39. So we end up breaking you down into a few pieces. So 39 there equals 12, which equals a 3. So you are what we call a life path number 3, which is the same as Elaine Ann, who's watching there. Nice. I'll come to this one in a minute. So when we are breaking these down, like I said, I'm giving you the very nutshell version. These numbers here are just as important as your final life path number. Now, all this is taken and calculated only on your birth date, not your name of birth and so on. So the 3 and the 9 here tells me to get to this 3, we're working through a number 3 energy, a 9 energy, a 1 energy, and a 2 energy to get to your 3. So your basic things around the 3, like I said, all this is the nutshell version. Your basic things around the 3 tells me highly energetic, you have great vision in what you want and where you're going, lots of good and nice ideas. Artistic or creative tells me, and everyone thinks artistic or creative, you have to be a painter. No, it often is in the creative thought processes. On its negative, though, can tell me sometimes you may get over emotional, but you also may sometimes feel really, really scattered. So I'll ask for feedback in a minute. So that's your basis of your number. Now this here is your numerology grid. And the way I've been taught by Elaine, we work on our grid as 1 at the bottom. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Some people will do it from the top, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Doesn't really matter whether you have it running that way or up, but I'm going on the way I've been taught. So in our 1, we look at how many 1s is in your birthday, and we tick these. So you've got 3 1s. You've also got 2 4s, and you've got 2 9s. Now, each of these numbers have positives and negatives, and to have 2 of them means a very good balance between the positive and the negative. So your 9 there is about the carer part of you, or we often say the humanitarian, the one who's there to save the world and the greater good. That there would tell me you've got a good balance between that, and then sometimes where ego may get in the way and so on, where you'll be just moody as such. Here you've got your 2 4s, and 4 is good for practicalities, home, foundation, strong and secure. It's your base, which is nice. Your 3 1s here, when you have 3 or more, it tells us though, yes, you've still got not a bad balance of the positive versus the negative of the 1, but 3 here would tell me though, you really, really need to probably concentrate on a few areas of don't always be in a hurry. Try not to over control or take things to a higher level when you know it doesn't need to. And I would look at that. And often it is where you are wanting to control the ship when you can't. So I'd look at that and say, be a little mindful here. Again, I'll go into the course about these ones that miss, because the missing here is also very important. So this here is what we call our, some people call them pinnacles. I've known them and been taught them as peaks. And in our life, we have 4 major peaks from the time we're born till the time we die. Our peak 1 is here, peak 2, peak 3, and then peak 4. So they... where's my tissue? Sorry, I'm just getting my tissue. I just want to show you in the colours. So with our peaks, this is a whole bunch of calculations. And again, I won't go into that here. I'm going to do the calcs and then I'm going to tell you all about it, John. So bear with me and let me just write these calculations down. So, and I'll have Elaine there watching every move I make to make sure I don't mug it up. So, right, that's there. Sorry, forgot that. That's 6. I like to use different colours when I look at these things here. So you're a life number 3. Right. I'll explain this in 2 seconds. And where's another colour? I like to put all the colours. Purple it is. Right, so there. 3, 2, and 2. Right, now I'm trying to work out. So 1991. So you're going to be 31 this birthday. Oh, thank you, Elaine. I'm feeling the pressure. I can feel your daggers watching me. Elaine will probably call me later and she'll say, "No, you should have said this." But anyway, so you're born in 1991, so you will be 31 this birthday. You are such a baby. Oh, my Lord, I wish I was a baby. I wish I was 31 again. So here tells me when you were a little boy, and 4 there would have told me you're a very, very stable child. You were probably really good at sharing. You were probably also very much about what is the real world versus the fantasy world. So that tells me a lot about when you were a little boy. So you're only turning 31 this year. So you're actually about here in your before your first peak. This number here tells me the age of when you reach your first peak. So you are between this level as the day you're born up until you're age 33. So you are closer to this than you are back here. If you were 18, I would probably be reading you more about here. But as you are closer here, so this here with the 9, that's telling us that we are working in your positive aspects of your first peak. So the 9 there is again about you being confident. It's also the softness, the romance, the delicate part of you. So it's also you wanting to, again, give every homeless person your last dollar, feed the world type attitudes, which is actually quite nice. So it's you, the carer. The only thing is when we're looking at that is really be careful that people don't take advantage of you. And that's really important. The 1 here is what we call the challenge. So it tells me there, getting past things where you may feel lonely. Sorry, you're getting a full reading here, John, which tells me there's many times that you probably do feel alone, but then your flip side of when you are feeling alone, you then get to that power and think, no, I don't need anyone beside me, and it's I can hold my own, and so on. And it tells me there, though, let some of the bit of that ego or that nonchalant side of you let it go, because it can actually bring you down. So that is really, really important. It also is still, though, stop trying to cram everything in that you have. I can see as you age, because each of these are ages, and people ask what happens when you get to 60 and there's nothing after it. And it actually means, though, that you stay in that last peak from age 60 right through to the time you die. And it wouldn't matter whether you live to 76 or 106, it still works there. So these are the ages. I can see where you are heading as a young man. And again, Elaine would really know this too. She'll pick this up. And Elaine, can you please also comment here what you are seeing for John as well? So that way you get 2 of us. One of these days I'll get Lainey here so we can have the 2 of us together at the same time, because she doesn't live far from me. But I can see where you are heading as a young man. Very interesting when we see you after the age of 33, that you are really pushing and really developing a lot of your soul searching, because your sevens up through here tells me you are delving and looking into things that are very deep into the spiritual self. And the seven is often finding the truth within you, as well as you won't put up with crap from anyone else. So I can see where you are going as a grown man. So this here, where it's the personal year number, and again, it depends on who has taught you numerology and who has not. Personal year numbers, I myself and Elaine, we take it from the current year we are in, which we add then your 14, your day number, your month number, and our current year. So this is 6, 5 is 11, and 4 is 15. So you are in a 6 personal year. So this is a big year for you. The 6 this year is about gaining more responsibilities. It's also protection. And when I see that, it's often very protective over home life or family life. So it's protection around your relationships of people that you love and people that you are there. On the negative side, though, would tell me, don't let little things really rub you up the wrong way. Don't let feel rivalry or jealousy of somebody or something that someone else has got and you haven't quite got there. It's very important to work into your positives of the number rather than the negatives. And if you Google up numerology number 6, you will see that is about your entire year this year. So it is really important. You can even work them out right down to your personal days and so on. And with numerology, you can predict a certain day if you had a job interview on a certain date and so on. So the challenge is working more comfort. So I'm not sure if you can read those, John, on Facebook, but Elaine's saying with the challenge as the 4, it's working more about comfort is important. So Elaine, if you want to write any more, because John's through YouTube, I don't know if you can see him, but I can actually feed it back, the information there. So 6 is an important year for you. So, and it's actually really nice to see. So I'm just looking, some of the feedback, Elaine, I don't know if you can see John, but I'll read it. He grew up with a very practical father and feeling isolated even before the pandemic in his late 20s. So I'm not surprised when I can see that. Yeah, so, but you can see how numbers are very important. Families and having bigger shoulders as well, John. So that's what Elaine's feedback is, which is really good to see. So these are some of the new bits and pieces. With numerology, there is a lot of people and a lot of readers don't like to be transparent, but you know all about me, I'll just blurt it all out. Many readers will say, on a booking thing, what's your birth date? And the reasons that many readers do it, because most readers have a basic understanding of numerology, and the main reason, if they are asking your birth date, they're also helping you. It's like looking at a roadmap or of where you're going in your life. And like anything with a reading, same with numerology, if we can see, okay, there's a negative coming up, we then can say 2 things. You know what you're looking for, but you're already preempting on how you are going to solve any challenges that come across to you. So that's what numerology is. So that's very basic. And like I said, yes, cartomancy is the same thing when they do a lot of birthdays. And I'm not sure if you study cartomancy. And again, lots of people really overcomplicate it. Cartomancy basically is you have to know your suits, so your hearts, clubs, spades and diamonds, and your numbers. So life number 3 is a triangle. Yeah. So yeah, it is. It can be, but don't overcomplicate it. The best thing I can advise there, John, is if they make it sound really complicated, you can guarantee it's not, because divination should not be that complicated. So, and it's part of my mission I look at in my life is put it out to the masses and make it as simple as possible for everyone. So Kipper cards are fantastic, John. They're very good for people readings and when there's a lot of emotions involved, and particularly when you've got multiple relationships like a family issue or three-way relationships and exes and so on, that Kippers are brilliant for people relationships. So that is my new toys. Like I said, these are the new tarot cups and they are the 22 major arcanas. And like I said, I don't know what's my favourite because they're all hot favourites, but like I said, this is my new book. And like I said, you can use it with charms, you can use it with coins. I also want to just show you what I've done with sigils. Whoops. With sigils, I actually made these into jewellery. Now, this here, it's actually on one of my coins and that's got glass. This sigil is what they call a stylized sigil, and I'll show that in the course when people buy that. And this actual sigil, it's the same there, it's just printed on different colours. This sigil here means I am beautiful exactly as I am. And these you put on a chain, and I actually did give away a couple as gifts, and I put a charm on each side of the sigils as well. And that's what they are. But you can make them into pieces of jewellery, and like I said, you can do anything with them. So it's all about versatility. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I just wanted to show you some of my new toys. The tarot cups are listed up in the Etsy store, and the sigil tiles, numerology and the books will be listed either late tonight or sometime tomorrow. So just want to say thanks, guys, for stopping by and saying hello, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.